Welcome to Apex Live, Oman's most popular online talk show. Today we are in conversation with Ajay Jacobs. He's the founder of MJ Global, who are market-leading specialists in migration services. A fascinating subject, and I'm very pleased to welcome onto the Apex Live couch, Ajay.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for joining us on the couch.
Always a pleasure. I mean, it's a new thing, so let's do it.
Yeah, okay. So my first question is, if you could just describe briefly the services that MJ Global offer.
See, MJ Global is a company that deals into various immigration services. So, which is segmented further into skilled immigration for people who are looking for a job-based immigration or based on their skills to countries like Canada, Australia, New Zealand. And then we do a category for investors and business people where they want to migrate based on their investment and business.
Okay.
Okay, so we deal in around 25 countries, which includes Canada, USA, Europe, countries in like Australia, New Zealand, Caribbean islands. So there are many options for people nowadays to immigrate, and the government has also identified opportunities to invite investors or business people who can generate employment in their country through that money that they are bringing in.
How do you decide on countries that you don't work with or you don't migrate people to?
See, we don't choose the country. The thing is, that's the biggest mistake that we do. I mean, in case if somebody is advocating a particular country, that is the biggest mistake. You need to identify what the person actually needs, why they want to do it, why they want to do it in the first place. That's the main crux of it. So if that answer is found, then we can advise according to that need which country is most suitable.
Okay. And what trends have you noticed in your industry sector over the last few years?
So the most popular choice nowadays is Canada, because it's always been a popular choice among all kinds of nationalities, right? Because people want to avail the opportunities provided by the country. Then comes that we are doing exclusively in Oman as Germany.
Okay.
We are taking care of professionals who want to work in Germany or investors who want to do business. Then comes New Zealand is also another choice. Apart from this, yes, USA is also another popular choice.
What unique services do MJ Global offer that differentiate you in this market?
See, we are a company that doesn't focus on just providing a service. We focus on the result. Why? Because there are immigration processes, especially if you look at a country like Canada, it only tells you the eligibility criteria. It doesn't tell, okay, fine, this is what you want to get it. So we provide those services to make sure that the person who is enrolling the services get the permanent residency. And if you ask us how, we ensure that they get a job so that they secure the family's future as well. There are programs available under that segment as well. So similarly, we have programs for Germany also. And yes, of course, the business and investment program always offer these services. So yes, when you ask about differentiation, it's about result. We give the result. We don't take it unless and until we know for 100% sure there is a result.
Do you ever have potential clients that you feel are making a mistake, that they shouldn't be doing this?
Yes, of course.
You tell them?
Yes, in fact, more than 70-75% of the clients or the prospects that are coming to our office have already availed services from other consultants, and they are unhappy with the services. This is mainly because they didn't do their research. Not about the company. They need, see, now the immigration process has evolved over the years. If you look at an immigration process 6 years or 7 years before, Canada was much more simpler. Now it is more complex. So now people need to educate themselves to see what makes them qualified for the process. So the main mistake that these people do is they do the research after the first failure.
Okay.
So they tend to have these questions that sadly won't help them because they already went through a bad process.
And for MJ Global, will future expansion for you mean you'll have to open offices in other markets?
Yes, of course. In fact, glad you asked this question. The love that we've received from this country is immense, completely immense. Why? Because in such a short span of time, we've been seeing tremendous support from the people in Oman. and their love is unparalleled. And because of this love, we've been seeing a lot of reception from other countries. And our next venture in a month or two will start in Sri Lanka.
Okay.
And after that, we will be starting an office in Qatar.
Okay. We were talking earlier, and I remember you mentioned about the importance to MJ Global of transparency for customers.
Yes, of course, absolutely.
Can you just expand on that a little bit?
See, often, when there's a famous saying by one of the Indian Indian cricket team captain MS Dhoni. He came out with a video telling that whatever you do in your life, you should focus on the process, not on the result. Result is just a byproduct of the process. Now it's the same thing that we forget nowadays. When we just focus on the result, we forget the process. So that is where this transparency is important. Why? Because when you are training your staff or when you are explaining a particular product to a client, the client should be taught and be made aware of what are the pros and cons of that particular process and to what level he can see the success. Because the thing is, we are trying to make him picturize how he can resettle in that country, how he can get his family there, how he can settle his family there, so many other aspects. If we are not transparent with the customer after starting the process and then he comes to know that in midway he is not able to comply with a few of things that that is required for the process, then it's a complete waste of their time and our time.
Yeah.
So transparency is absolutely necessary.
On both sides?
Both sides. Both sides, on both sides, absolutely. Because information is key for all immigration process.
And I'm quite interested by the concept that your business, from how I look at it, is what most businesses would revel in having repeat customers. But
yes,
you're not going to have many of those if you're sending them away, right?
but yes, that's the beauty of it, right? I mean, like, references do come.
Okay.
And 80% of our business thrives on these references because we are doing a service that is helping people to settle in a country.
Ajay, it's been fascinating speaking with you.
It's always a pleasure.
Wish you all the best for the future.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us in conversation at Apex Live.
Absolutely. Thank you.